hour on VTV News, Prime Minister Phie holds meeting with German President. Efforts made to overcome challenges in Block B Hormone Gas to Power CHINH project. In our news, new COVID-19 variant raises concerns around the world.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On Tuesday night, State President Võ Văn Thưởng and his spouse hosted a reception to welcome German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and his spouse, who are on state visit to Vietnam. State President Võ Văn Thưởng believes that the nearly 200,000 Vietnamese people living in Germany are an important force in promoting friendship and understanding between the two countries. He affirmed his commitment to working for a close and sustainable connections between the two nations and for the freedom and happiness of their peoples. As the German president said, cohesion does not come automatically. It must be acted upon. It is the result of humanity, empathy, responsibility, and charity. Following the receptions, the state president and his spouse invited the German president and his spouse to enjoy an art program featuring musical masterpieces by Beethoven and Johann Sebastian Bach, as well as gongs and Vietnamese folk melodies performed by the Vietnam National Academy of Music. On Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Phie met with German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier during a state visit to Vietnam. Prime Minister Phie expressed gratitude to the German side for their support in providing a significant number of vaccines to help Vietnam combat the pandemic and restore the socio-economic situation. He emphasized that Vietnam highly values Germany's roles and positions in the region and the world. The German president, in return, expressed his appreciation for the warm and thoughtful welcome from the leaders of the party and state of Vietnam and recognized Vietnam's dynamic economic development in recent years. To further enhance the well-established bilateral cooperation, both leaders agreed to increase the exchange of delegations at all levels, particularly at high-level meetings. They also pledged to continue coordinating and supporting each other in multilateral forums. Additionally, they agreed to provide increased incentive for German businesses to invest in Vietnam, particularly in sectors where Germany possesses strengths such as energy, railways, medical equipment, pharmaceuticals, and infrastructure. During a meeting with Fukuoka Governor Hatori Setaro, Deputy Prime Minister Trần Lưu Quang suggested that Fukuoka prefectures should promote investment and business activities in Vietnam. Specifically, he highlighted the area of strategic infrastructure, digital and green transformations, smart agriculture, wastewater treatment, and high technologies as potential sectors for collaboration. Additionally, the Deputy Prime Minister requested the governor's attention to the needs of the Vietnamese community, which consists of over 20,000 people living and studying in Fukuoka province. He urged the governor to create more favorable conditions for this community. The Prime Minister has instructed the National Oil and Gas Corporation's ministries and localities to prioritize addressing issues and ensuring the progress and effectiveness of key projects in the oil and gas industry. This includes the Block B Hormone Gas to Power project, which has an investment of nearly $12 billion. The objective is to complete the project change and commerce operations of the first gas stream by 2026.
Spanning approximately 430 kilometers, this project is a component of the Block B Hormone Gas to Power project chain. Although groundbreaking was 15 years ago, the project has not been implemented yet due to site clearance issues. Currently, there are only 2 years remaining until the project is scheduled for completion and the first gas transfer.
We are facing some difficulties with onshore construction. The related legal regulations have affected the compensation costs for site clearance. This could lead to a delay in the progress of the site handover.
Once completed, the gas output is expected to exceed 5 billion cubic meters per year. However, there are concerns that until the competitive electricity market is fully established, the focus will remain on mobilizing affordable power sources. Therefore, ensuring a secure output is a major challenge for this gas and electricity project chain.
We believe this is the main bottleneck. There is a lack of commitment regarding the amount of electricity that will be generated, which means that power plants cannot guarantee a specific level of consumption.
The Prime Minister has directed the Ministry of Industry and Trade to amend related circulars, such as circulars numbers 45, 25, and 57. These circulars serve as the legal framework for electricity market operations. Decentralization and delegation of power are also crucial, as they help accelerate project implementation and inspection.
The Block B Omon gas-to-power project chain is identified as a significant electricity source. It is projected to contribute approximately 22 billion kilowatts per hour of additional electricity to the national grid annually and bring about a transformation in the economic composition of the region.
According to the white paper report on women-owned small and medium-sized enterprises conducted by the Asian Development Bank ADB in collaboration with the Ministry of Planning and Investment, 20% of small and medium-sized businesses are owned by women. This significant presence plays a crucial role in job creation, poverty reduction, and economic growth. Women-owned small and medium-sized enterprises have contributed to advancing women's status, investing in the health and education for children, especially girls, and increasing social benefits in line with sustainable development goals. However, the majority of these enterprises are micros and small scale, with only 4% capable of participating in chain production. Experts recommend the swift implementations of various policies and solutions to address obstacles and improve the business investment environment, ultimately enhancing competitiveness for women-owned businesses. Consumer demand has grown significantly as date approaches. This is also the time when smuggling cases occur more frequently, often using sophisticated methods. That is why local authorities are coordinating efforts to strengthen market inspections and control and to strictly handle any violations.
Candies, dried chicken, and beef, all of these products are purchased from unknown sources without any invoices. The authorities have been consistently confiscating numerous expensive food items intended for the year-end market. Specialized and interdisciplinary inspections have been intensified in areas that require extensive monitoring.
Some storage facilities are packaging goods, including overdue, smuggled, or goods of unknown origin, into gift packages. The activity of black marketers is more pronounced during this time.
In border localities, which are known as trading hubs, smuggling becomes more prevalent as Tet approaches. Smugglers take advantage of this period to bring goods into the domestic market. As a result, local authorities are intensifying their efforts to prevent the entry of smuggled goods at the source.
The unit has constructed additional shelters along the Sai-Pon River, which it is responsible for. Troops are guarding the area around the clock to address this situation.
All units have predicted and proactively prepared for the Tet holiday to prevent hotspots for smuggling and the trading of illicit goods.
At the same time, the Market Management Force closely monitors petroleum and liquefied petroleum gas business activities. This helps prevent speculation, hoarding of goods, and unreasonable price increases, ensuring market stability during the holiday.
The General Department of Market Management will increase inspections in collaboration with other units to crack down on major goods smuggling lines and hotspots.
The authorities are enhancing the management of traditional trade markets and will also continue to promote the use of information technology. This is to effectively address the trading of prohibited, smuggled, counterfeit goods, and goods that violate intellectual property rights, particularly through social networks and e-commerce platforms.
Just like the Vietnamese community within Vietnam, the Vietnamese community in France is also busy preparing for Tết holiday. However, unlike last year, the tensions in the Red Sea are threatening the supply chain. Fortunately, Vietnamese goods are not being affected as much as they were last year, which resulted in the shortage of sticky rice, beans, and bamboo shoots.
This is the warehouse of the first supplier of Asian and Vietnamese goods in France. Following last year's shortage of goods, the company plans to import goods starting from the fourth quarter in order to meet the demand of the Asian community for celebrating Tết.
Vietnamese goods are very diverse, so we have to try our best to import the newest products for the Vietnamese living overseas.
The majority of goods at this supermarket are sourced from Vietnam. Therefore, preparations for sourcing goods and coordinating sea and air transport have been made in advance to ensure the availability of fresh and dry goods for consumers.
In France, there are many Asian markets where I can go to buy a wider variety of foods. If I don't have time, I just need to go to one market, and that's enough.
The Vietnamese-French market chain, along with numerous small supermarkets and online sellers within the Vietnamese community, source their goods through importers in Eastern Europe. Importing through these intermediaries results in a notable price difference and a wider range of product sources.
The company has been planning for Tết since October, and the goods have been transported since October and November, so they will arrive in early January. Agricultural products such as rice and zam leaves are ready to serve the people.
Currently, Vietnamese goods are well supplied in the French market, ensuring a fulfilling Tết for nearly 400,000 Vietnamese people in France.
Before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, January 24th. Coming up next on VTV News, North and North Central regions face coldest spell in 8 years. And community-based tourism in Hualien attracts visitors. The North and North Central regions are currently experiencing the coldest days of winter, marking the coldest spell in the past 8 years. The widespread cold spell in the North and Thanh Hóa is expected to persist until Friday. Temperatures in the North Central regions range from 9 to 11 degrees Celsius, while the Northern region generally sees temperatures of 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. In the northern mountainous regions, temperatures drop to 3 to 6 degrees Celsius, and in the high mountains, there are places with temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius. Frost is likely to continue occurring in the high mountains of Mẫu Sơn, Phie, Đồng Văn, Mèo Vạc, Bình Liêu, and Yên Tử. In Hà Giang, the temperature has been very low these days, with some places dropping below 3 degrees Celsius. To ensure the health of the local residents, especially students, proactive measures have been taken to prevent cold-related issues. At preschools and primary school in Mèo Vạc district, children are provided with well-insulated rooms and a warm learning environment in the classrooms. Parents are preparing sufficient warm clothing and blankets for their children. Additionally, school start times have been delayed by 20 to 30 minutes to avoid the cold. Authorities advise everyone to keep warm and limit outdoor activities when the temperature is extremely low. Hanoi weather is extremely cold, especially at night. Despite the harsh conditions, laborers continue to work through the freezing night. They remain determined, working hard to support their families and prepare for the upcoming Tết holiday. More to follow.
The motorbike taxi driver had only 2 passengers today, which is far fewer than his usual workload. It's getting late, but he hasn't returned home yet. He hopes to earn some money to buy a meal.
In this cold weather, people choose cars over motorbike taxis, so making a living at this time is very difficult.
the laborers build a fire and wear multiple layers of clothing. It is truly difficult for them to work in such cold weather.
I have a few customers, but it's too cold to ride. I'm trying to work and earn money for Tet, but the sudden cold weather is making it difficult.
Huang sells kumquat trees for Tet. During the cold and rainy days in Hanoi, he stays up all night to watch over the shop. The harsh weather makes the job more challenging, and due to the lack of customers, he has only managed to sell 3 trees in the past 3 days.
The economy is tough this year, and as a result, my business is not doing well. It's a challenging situation, but I have no other option but to continue working.
Many freelancers engaged in various jobs. On cold and rainy days, their sales may only amount to 1/3 of their usual daily earnings. However, despite the slow business, nobody stays home. They continue working to earn some extra money for the upcoming Tet holiday.
Nguyễn Huệ Flower Street in Ho Chi Minh City will feature 5 new additions for this year's date holiday to compare to previous years. The theme for this year is Spring of Love Date Gathering. One of the highlights is the inclusion of 3 dragon mascots on Giáp Thìn Flower Street, setting a new site record with a length exceeding 100 meters. These mascots are crafted using environmentally friendly materials, with over 90% of them made from sharp steel. They also feature a slat fan curtain system that covers the entire body, along with an installed LED lighting system for special effect. Another new addition to the flower street is the presence of 9 golden trees ranging in height from 1 to 3.6 meters. In the Hữu Liên commune of Hữu Lũng district, Lạng Sơn province, the area's breathtaking natural beauty, cultural richness, and indigenous way of life are preserved and highlighted through tourism. This is not only creates employment opportunities, but also enhances the quality of life for local residents. By preserving and promoting their cultural identity, the spiritual well-being of the community is uplifted. More to follow.
At the Hữu Liên market, visitors can enjoy cultural performances that showcase traditional opera and ethnic dances of Dao, Tây and Nung people. This adds a unique cultural touch to their shopping and leisure experience.
The traditional dances of the local people are very nice. I took my children with me so that they could experience and appreciate the ethnic culture of the country.
CHINH works in the fields during the day and becomes a dancer in cultural performances in the evening. For her, it's not just about earning money. She also finds joy in preserving the traditional songs of her ethnic group. Homestays also organize performances on site upon request from tourists.
Besides my regular work, I also dance and sing to preserve my ethnic culture and earn extra income for my family.
Beautiful landscapes may initially attract tourists, but the enduring appeal lies in the local people and their culture. As such, the people of Hữu Liên commune are making efforts to preserve the distinctive identities of their ethnic groups, such as Kinh, Tây, Nung, Dao and Mông people.
We have organized training sessions and awareness campaigns for the local community to enhance their skills in promoting community-based tourism, attracting more visitors to the area.
Tourism helps preserve and promote the values and traditions of ethnic groups. The income generated supports conservation efforts, making cultural features more distinct. In turn, these unique aspects attract tourists to beautiful areas.
Vietnam was among the top 10 destinations for Australian tourists in 2023, according to data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The number of Australian visitors to Vietnam last year has reached pre-pandemic levels. Vietnam is forecast to be a favorite destination for Australian tourists this year.
Vietnam's attractiveness to Australian tourists has been increasing recently. Australian tourists have found out about the country through social media or suggestions from friends or families.
Just through a few friends that had been here, and I think like Google, even on TikTok, lots of TikToks about it. Social media, Facebook pages as well. It's nice that you can see all different things from like the ocean to the cities and mountains.
It's always been a dream of mine to go to Vietnam. I've heard a lot about it over the years. the culture, the food, the people. A lot of our older friends have come over here in the past and they really love it.
Several economical and direct flights connect major Australian cities such as Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane to Vietnam's Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Data from flight ticket sales website Skyscanner showed Ho Chi Minh City was one of the 10 most searched destinations by Australians last year, with an annual growth rate of 246%.
The flight time is short with many options in terms of time and prices. Traveling costs in Vietnam are much cheaper than in other locations such as the US or Europe, even Thailand and Indonesia. A tour to Vietnam is about 70 to 80% cheaper than Bali, Bangkok or Singapore.
In addition, Sagan Tourists data shows an increase of 143% in the number of Australian visitors to Vietnam by cruise last year compared to 2019.
Vietnam has started to emerge as an adventure traveller destination. You can go kite surfing, you can go trekking, you can go bicycle riding, you can try different types of foods. The e-visa situation has opened up for travellers that want to stay for longer periods.
Direct flights, diverse travel experiences, and a 90-day e-visa policy have all contributed to position Vietnam as an appealing destination for Australian tourists.
Coming up next in our world news, new COVID-19 variant raises concerns around the world. And North Korea fires several cruise missiles from West Coast. Many countries around the world are advising people to take preventive measures against a new wave of COVID-19. Currently, there are over 26,000 new cases of COVID-19 in Australia. This recent surge in cases is linked to a new variant called JN1, which originated from the Omicron virus. However, there are no indications of an increase in the mortality rate. The government of Bangladesh has confirmed the emergencies of the new JN1 variant within the country. It has been found in 5 COVID-19 patients who did not travel. The Bangladesh government plans to administer a 4th dose of the vaccines to citizens later this year. Last month, the World Health Organization classified JN1 as a variant of concern due to its rapid global spread. The Joint Chief of Staff of South Korea announced on Wednesday that North Korea had launched ballistic missiles towards its western coast. The South Korean military has yet to confirm the exact number and details of the missiles. This launch event is the second known one by North Korea this year. The first was a flight test firing of the country's first solid-fuel intermediate-range ballistic missiles on January 14, followed by an underwater nuclear weapons system test on January 19. The tests coincide with joint military exercises conducted by United States and Japan and South Korea off Jeju Island. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced that U.S. forces conducted airstrikes on the facility of the armed group Qatar's Hezbollah and others in Iraq. There was in response to an attack on U.S. soldiers in western Iraq a few days earlier. The airstrike targeted the main headquarters, warehouses, and training site of Qatar's Hezbollah armed group. According to the Pentagon, there have been over 150 attacks on U.S. and allied forces in Iraq and Syria since October. In response, Washington has carried out retaliatory strikes. The Pentagon emphasized that the U.S. does not seek to escalate the conflict in the regions, but is prepared to take additional measures to protect its personnel and facilities. The Tokyo Electric Power Company, operators of the Japanese nuclear power plant, completed testing on Tuesday for the initial deployments of drones at the damaged Fukushima Daiichi plant. The plant has been undergoing decommissioning for several decades. More on this in the following story.
In February, a snake-shaped robot and 4 drones will be dispatched to survey the damage at Fukushima Daiichi's Unit 1 reactor. It has been almost 13 years since its core melted down. triggering a hydrogen blast in one of the worst nuclear disasters in history.
This is the first time that a drone will be used to conduct an inspection of the first floor of the nuclear reactor's containment vessel. So we will make sure to carry out the survey with a safety-first mindset, checking the procedures and instructions one by one and always ensuring safety.
TVgo hopes that the images captured by the drone will assist in assessing the potential methods for removing the melted fuel debris. Unit 1 of the nuclear reactor was the first to begin melting down following a devastating tsunami that hit the eastern coast of Japan in March 2011.
Throughout the course of this mock-up process, we have reworked the operating procedure through trial and error. As you can see today, we believe that we will be able to operate after resolving those issues.
It is believed that this reactor is the most severely damaged of the 4 reactors that were operating that day. TVgo is still in the process of trying to understand the extent of the damage and how to remove the molten fuel. Experts say that this process will take decades.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. That's all the news for today. To rewatch your program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download a mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.